Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. You might have noticed someone's missing. It's just a Two Hammers podcast today. Unfortunately, Lee's away on top secret business, serving the country and doing James Bond stuff. So no, Lee's away. Lee's unfortunately away with work. So just me and Luke today. How we doing, mate? You
good,
right?
mate. Good. We thought we'd put a shout out for you guys. We put a few tweets out there to decide like who was going to have on the show. Obviously, this week we couldn't really tie anyone down, but next week, guys, we have got Jay from Hammer and Talk. I'm sure you all know him. We're looking really forward to doing some collaboration work with him on the podcast next week, but that's next week. If you've got any questions for Jay, please get him in. But until then, let's go into this week. As we always do, we talk about the game that happened at the weekend. You know most of what I thought about the game from my review. But Paul, Everton, what can we say? What can you say?
It's the same old story, isn't it? Like the first 20 minutes were fantastic. I mean, we just started so well, so much energy, and it's the story of the season. You know, we needed to make it count while we were on top. We needed to score. We didn't, and I think when we conceded, and it was a poor goal to concede as well. The edge dropped, and I think the belief just went just completely
drained out of us totally. I said it in my review about the striker situation. The game, West Ham are just screaming for a striker, absolutely screaming for it. And what did you make of that? Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, we've said about Antonio before, and I'm not sure if I've said it on the podcast before, but obviously I've said it. We've both said it, you know, in conversations. Antonio, we love him. He's not a striker. No, He's not a centre forward.
I said it. I called for him to go up top, didn't I, early on in the season, just to give him a try out. But yeah, he's not. You can tell how comfortable he is on the wing because he kept going there. That's where he wanted to be.
And that's the problem as well, because every time he was pulling out to the wing, there was no one in the box. We had no one in the box, so nothing was happening. The moves were breaking down. I mean, you might have Lanzini running into the box, but what's he going to do? He's not going to get on the end of an header, is he?
To be fair, Antonio did play quite well in bits and bobs.
He did. His effort was fantastic, and he's running and everything was brilliant, but he ain't got that striker's instinct. He hasn't, you know. So I don't know, and I'm not sure why Bilic started him. I don't know what Fletcher has to do to get a game.
No. Or even Ayew, play Ayew for 60 minutes. I don't know. It's just some more negatives. Payet's performance, awful.
Terrible. Shocking.
Awful. I don't want to slate him too much, obviously, because the guy's an absolute genius when he gets going, but yeah, it was awful.
No, I mean, that's the thing. He gets the plaudits and he gets the praise when he plays well. So at the same time, you know, he has to take the criticism when he plays bad. And that was the worst I've seen him in a West Ham shirt. He was absolutely shocking. 2 corners went straight out of play. Can you imagine if someone else had that? Can you imagine if a couple of years ago old Matt Jarvis had done that? You would have been tearing into him like there's no tomorrow.
It was all the flicks as well. It was unnecessary flicks. I know they come off sometimes, but it was just like, come on, mate, we're 1-0 down. We don't need all your flicks. You just need a basic passing.
He didn't. I don't know. So I saw a comment on Knees Up Mother Brown. Actually, I can't remember who said it, but someone said it, and it made me think. They said Dimitri Payet, he looks like he's not worried about West Ham scoring. He's worried about Dimitri Payet scoring.
Yeah, that's actually a really good opinion, I think. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, like I say, he's I don't know what he's like celebrating goals. I've not made a point of looking how he reacts when the team scores. Yeah. Rather than him scoring. I will make a point of doing that at Stoke at the weekend. Any positives at all for you? I think Adrian had a great game.
That one save was absolutely world class.
A lot of people have been slating the fact that he should have turned that around the post. What do you make of that?
Yeah, he probably should have got a better hand on it. He probably should have pushed it further out. But I don't think you could blame him for the goal because I don't know what Reed was doing. Reed went for it and then he looked like he pulled out.
He bowled it, yeah.
And Cresswell just stood there and watched. Like, Was it Balassi?
Yeah, Balassi whipped the ball back.
Whipped the ball in, yeah. Like, Balassi was behind Cresswell. He ran round him, and Cresswell just stood there and watched him. Like, Cresswell completely fell asleep. So I don't know, Cresswell or Reed, one of those two should have stopped it. Maybe Adrian, could have pushed it out a bit further, but I don't think it was his fault. I think, the defence should have taken care of it.
Some of the other channels have commented on this, West Ham Fan TV, and I think Jay said it on his review as well. Obiang being taken off, what do you make of that? Was that the right choice for you?
The only reason I can see that he took him off was because he was on a yellow, and he was possibly worried about him getting sent off. That's it really. I mean, he was having a good game. Noble was pretty anonymous.
He used to play so much. I know I've slated him something rotten, Noble, but he needs to get dropped. He does.
No, I have to agree. Like, obviously we've had rows about Noble, and I've stuck up for him pretty recently as well.
Nearly every week, but no.
Since your rant the other week on Noble, I actually have made a point of watching him more. And no, you're right, he really does slow the game down. He has to take a touch and look up and look around and decide what he's going to do before he actually does anything, where when you look at the likes of Payet and Lanzini and Obiang, they pick the ball up and it's gone.
There was a few times over the last two games where it's like he'll pick the ball up midfield and someone's gone, like Fernandez is gone or Antonio's gone or Payet's gone, and because he took that touch, done the Scott Parker turn, it's too late, and then he has to go backwards. Yeah. Like you say, with Payet Lanzini, it's just boom, it's gone. Like, they're not even thinking about it.
What I think was another weird point was Bilic's substitutions were strange. When he brought Ayew on, I actually thought it was working quite well. Ayew seemed to be linking up quite well. But then he brought on Zaza. Did Zaza come on after Ayew?
Zaza and then Faguli come on for
Zaza and Faguli, and the shape was gone. Like, the entire team just lost its shape. And I was actually thinking throughout the whole game, Fernandez didn't really do anything. He had a very quiet game.
Cresswell, to be honest, as well. Left.
But after he went off, and Faguli was playing on that right-hand side, all of a sudden Barkley finds himself totally unmarked on that side in the box. Where was who was playing right back at that point at time? Who was supposed to be there?
Was Antonio in there?
I don't know. You tell Antonio was still like up front when it. No, because you had Zaza and Ayew up front.
So he must have been filling in. Right.
I don't even know. I don't remember even seeing him in the box when that goal went in. Like, who was supposed to be marking that far post? Because Barkley was just wide open, and the team just completely lost its shape.
Would you like to see Fernandez come in Noble's position?
Yeah, definitely.
Just to try it out.
Definitely. I mean, that's where he wants to play. He wants to play in midfield in the centre. Yeah, I mean, he's played well.
Disciplined. He's not the best. He's obviously not. He's not a defender, so he's not a right wing back, left wing back. But he's disciplined. He's played that position very well. He got a goal against Chelsea. He's done nothing wrong in a West Ham shirt yet, in my opinion.
That does worry me though, because obviously Bilic has got previous with it. The fact that he might now try and make him into a left back or a right back.
We don't want to see that.
It's like, stop. No, you don't. Don't muck about with him. He's a good player. He wants to be playing in midfield. Let him play in midfield.
And Obiang, like we see, been playing in midfield, and he's sort of turned us around a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't great the weekend, but that weren't his fault. Obviously, no Winston Reid now for the game at the weekend. We'll go into Stoke in a minute, but that's going to be a bit of a loss because that means Ginge will probably come in. Or would you rather see Oxford come in?
No, I actually don't think that's a bad thing against Stoke. I think having Collins in against Stoke's probably a positive because we all know what Stoke are like. Big physical team. I think what's his face? Who's there? Shaqiri.
Right. Yeah, he's injured.
He's out. So
injured. You're right.
That's a massive positive for us. So no, I think Collins will do. I think Collins will be fine coming in against Stoke.
I've heard an interesting one. Theory of where the team should go. Okay, they reckon it should be Reid, Oxford, and Ogbonna. Push Kouyaté back into midfield with Obiang and Fernandez, and possibly drop Lanzini and Noble.
I'm never going to advocate
No,
dropping Lanzini.
but they're just saying these are ideas of maybe how they can fit Oxford in to that centre-back
it's a weird.
position.
It's a strange situation with Reece. It really is, because
I do like Sheck at centre-back though.
I think he's better. He's more disciplined.
Bursting runs that again he hasn't made one this season.
You do, but I mean, that's what I mean. This season he weren't really doing that anyway, and the game was passing him by. So I think he's been much better, and he has still been getting forward. So
I'm a bit nervous that he's going to throw Nordvet in on Saturday at centre back. I'm very nervous.
Instead of Collins?
I'm saying it could happen. It could.
I'd be surprised if it did.
I don't want to see Nordvet play at centre back.
Do you think he'll stick with the three at the back?
I don't know. It's been working. You can't judge it on one game where it didn't work, because you're playing a bogey team and you're playing a guy who just loves scoring against us. So I would stick to it. But then, like you say, where Shaqiri's not playing, should you go a bit more attacking? Maybe go two up top. I don't know. There's a lot of qualms to go through. Any other positives from that game before we move on?
No, not really. Not really, to be honest.
Get a few more minutes, I suppose. That's the only other one.
Hopefully, I'm hoping he'll be ready to start against Stoke.
Lots.
Well, there's a question for you as well. So if IU starts up front, I'm assuming that if he does play three at the back again, that'll push Antonio to right wing back. So then that'll be Fernandez out of the team.
Yeah, because I don't want Antonio to get dropped. I'm not saying for him to get dropped. It's finding his right position.
Yeah,
and which is right wing.
Really, yeah, it's his right wing. That's where he should be playing. But in this formation,
should be dropped.
Yeah, in this formation though, he
gets dropped. Yeah. But who's it? I can't remember. One of the channels said what about Payet playing at the top of the false nine?
Again, I don't like not playing with a striker. I really don't. And I do think it's really... Then you get into the argument of should he be playing on the left or through the middle. I don't know.
With Dimmy as well, I can't see him... You know, say a ball comes up to him, he's not bringing it down, is he?
No.
Like, he needs to be in feet running. Like, he's not going to...
Yeah, he's never going to win anything in the air.
A short cross or whatever, is he? No. Right. Before we go into Stoke, we'll do that in the preview of the month. New thing we've added for this season, guys, is reviews and previews of the previous month. Review of this month, not bad.
It's been pretty good. It's been
not bad at all.
Considering where we were at the start of the month, you know, we've turned it around and it's been pretty good. Obviously, beating Chelsea in the cup, wow, amazing.
That was incredible. Great result that. But let's start right back at the beginning of the month. Bear with me, I can't remember who we played.
It was I don't know, you're gonna have to I have got it here. At the start of the month, it was 1st of October, we drew 1-1 with Middlesbrough.
Okay, so 1-1 Middlesbrough, sort of the catalyst of the sort of rise up the table, really, wasn't it? It was the goal from Payet that sort of sparked us back into life.
Stop the rot,
yeah, because you got look. I'm just looking at the results previous to then. 3-0 to Southampton, 4-2 to West Brom, and 4-2 to Watford. I think the key was to stop leaking goals in that game, and after that, obviously Palace away, massive win because Palace were in good form. Again, another really good goal, Lanzini. Return of Cresswell. After that, we played Sunderland. Again, took all of 94 minutes to do it. But great goal from Winston Reid. And it looked like we'd really turned the corner at that point. I thought this is going to be where we're going to start climbing again. And obviously, like I say, the Chelsea game was something ridiculous. Fantastic goal from Sheck. And Fernandez, actually give credit to Fernandez for his goal, and obviously ended with this week's result of Everton. So after 10 games, I'm not going to do the slad video that I promised, but let's talk about it. Last year after 10 games we were flying, This year, 10 games in, we've only got 10 points, minus 9 goals. I don't know what the comparison is. I can't really remember. I think we was like right up in 5th, weren't we, last year? So
yeah, we were absolutely flying, and we'd beaten some
City,
big teams. We'd beaten City, and so
Slav after 10 in a few words, Paul. This season, Slav after 10.
It's been up and down, hasn't it? I mean, it's really difficult because I really like Slav. And when we were going through that really bad run a couple of weeks, it was just a couple of weeks ago, it was getting to the point where I was thinking, I can't see a way back for him. You know, I said at the time he looked like a dead man walking, and I couldn't see a way back. But then he really has turned it around. Like, this has been a really good month. We lost at the weekend. Obviously, you know, you'd say fatigue setting from the midweek game against Chelsea. That could have been a factor. And, you know, we obviously prioritised the cup game over the league game and stuff like that. So I think he's turned it around. I do. I think he's turned it around.
I still don't think he knows his best team, though.
I think he's really struggling because we haven't got a striker. You know, like, obviously Zaza's come in and he's done nothing, which is a shame, because when he came in, I personally thought he was going to do well.
I thought he was going to be good. He had a fantastic goal scoring record as well that you did your video on.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a shame that it hasn't worked out with him. You obviously got injured straight away, so that messed him up.
Cresswell
and then
injury was massive as well pre-season.
Cresswell injury was huge, and then obviously we were falling back on Caleri, Fletcher, and Antonio. Carroll obviously missing man again, so that's really hurt him. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I'm still quite disappointed that Caleri wasn't given more of a chance, because I do think if he'd have been playing consistently, I think if Caleri had been playing every week, he would have scored a couple by now.
I think he would have started. I think I've said it on this video podcast a couple of times already now. I think he would have started linking up well with Lanzini. I honestly do. I think that they would have got that connection, and it would have started cracking on. Just on that, obviously, we've said it before on this podcast. There is a guy that keeps getting touted that he needs to start, or at least be in the squad. Tony Martinez.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Forgot all about him.
I'll say that because I've noticed his name starting to crop up again on Twitter, and it's cropping up on some of those big West Ham sites like Knees Up Mother Bran and Clarence and Hugh. Throw the guy in. Throw him in. No other geezers scoring. I think you said. There you go. That's what you was going to say, weren't you? After 10 games, a striker's scored a goal.
Yeah, we're the only club now where a striker hasn't scored a goal this season. Which is shocking. I mean, really, think about it.
Scary.
It's ridiculous, and you wonder how we're actually doing as alright as we are. The fact that a striker hasn't scored a single goal it's shocking.
It's very very.
Like I said last week, you know, even Modibo Maega scored for us,
and Valencia scored for us. And you got Sacco there, and I don't think Sacco's even injured. I really don't think he's injured. But
they keep saying that he's back in training and he's
the Tottenham game.
I still don't think he'll. I don't know, because we're getting quite desperate now. But I still don't think we'll see him again.
I think the thing is, he has to play to put himself in a shop window. That could be the case, that he plays, proves his fitness, and then the West Brom moves back on January.
Well, he'll probably be back just in time to go away for the African Cup of Nations.
Prove his fitness.
Yeah, and then he'll go in January.
Yeah.
Hopefully. From the sounds of things, it was, again, I haven't mentioned him for a long time. Going back to Knees Up Mother Brown, I'm 99% sure, I can't be 100% now because it was a few days ago I read it, that Jinxed, the well-known in the know, Knees Up Mother Brown in the know, said that they're in a really weird situation with Sacco because Bilic don't want to play him and he doesn't want to play for Bilic.
Yeah, I think there's something going on with Arbeloa as well now.
Yeah, I did read that.
I think he's fallen out with him as well. I've read that.
I read that he has. I don't understand how that could have happened.
Because he's not even getting on the bench, and this is guy.
And that's a strange one.
He's done all right. He plays for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's done all right. He's a model from everything that you hear. He's an absolute model professional.
Develop Byram. Byram's injured at the moment, but obviously Byram can still watch. So yeah, that is a weird one, that you'd rather play basically a central attacking midfielder at right wing back than you would a guy who's played there for 30 years. Very, very strange.
I think it'd be a massive shame if that's true and Arbeloa has fallen out with Bilic, because I was looking forward to seeing more of him this season.
No, I was. Okay, preview of the month. It's a tough month. It's a tough sort of month and a half, really, if we went right into December. But it all starts on Saturday with Stoke, and this is huge now. It's huge. They are on 12 points. We're on 10. I was just looking, actually, because I see Hollah right up there behind us. I know they're shocking at the minute. They play Southampton on a Sunday. If we lose and Hull were to win, we could be in the bottom three again, and then we're right in it again. So it's a massive, massive game. We have to win, really. A draw is not good enough on Saturday. Like you say, Shaqiri's injured. What do you think?
I agree. It's a game we have to win, and I think this will be a good test to see if we really have turned the corner or not. Like I say, the Everton you could put down as, okay, if we lose to Everton, that's what we lose to Everton.
You expect to lose to Everton because every bloody year.
If we then bounce back and get a result again this week, then the last few weeks are still going to look really good. If we don't and we lose,
you're right back in
you're getting on that downward curve again, which is not where you want to be. So.
And last year, like I say, we didn't lose 2 in a row under Bilic last year. Obviously, that's gone right out the window now. But it'd be nice to get that sort of spirit back again, and we don't lose 2 in a row.
I think if it depends on the team that he plays. I think if he starts with Antonio up front again, I don't think we'll do well. I think if Ayew plays up front, I think Ayew will probably score. I can see Ayew scoring. So
he gets in the positions. Chelsea was very close, weren't he?
Yeah, you could see even when he came on against Everton, like I say, he was really busy that first 5-10 minutes when he came on.
Yeah, and he scored actually. Yeah.
He nearly scored, and he looked like he wanted it. He was well up for it. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to G the T up and team up, and that's what you want to see. I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well for us. Hopefully he'll start.
Yeah, so that's the Stoke game. Next game, obviously after the international break, is the one we all look forward to. I think it's a bit of a sort of statement that could go either way, because it's more of like the nerves are just ridiculous before this game. Tottenham away. Apparently Andy's going to be back. Sacco's going to be back, and this one's going to be back. This one's going to be back. I'm not expecting anything at all.
No. I'm not, but anything could happen. Anything could happen against Tottenham.
At some point, at the end of the day, they play Arsenal this week, big North London derby, and I don't know. If they don't lose that game, are we the team that's going to break that run again? You never know. It takes a game like Tottenham to get the players going again. Like, that's such a meaningful game. I love that game. Like I say I love it, but that's the game that gets me so angry. It's unbelievable, that match. But bad news for us. Harry Kane apparently will be back for the Arsenal game, so there's a good chance he'll be playing again. So far, I'm not really expecting much this month. Stoke possibly. I'm thinking a draw, even though we're gonna win. Tottenham, I don't expect anything. No. You can't. You'd be foolish to expect anything for a Tottenham away. No, of course not. I do think that anything could happen, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't bank on it. Much money on it. And after that, obviously the United double. We've got them in the league, and then we've got them obviously in the quarterfinal of the cup. I don't fear United at the moment. I think Mourinho's lost the plot.
Pretender.
Pogba will probably decide he wants to turn up.
Well, he's actually played better He has played better last couple of games. But no, I agree. I said one of my mates here is a big Man United fan, and I said to him, day one, Mourinho's a pretender. It's going to go wrong. And I don't like you say. I don't fear him. They're negative. There's no real.
They've got Ibra, but
he's on the longest dry streak of his career, so he'll probably score against us.
I don't want to slag Ibra off because he'd probably score against us, but it's like I think he's realised Premier League defenders can actually defend me. Like, you've played in Italy, and I'll give you that. You score in any league, you're well done. But I think Premier League defenders just go through you. They're not going to sit there and admire that you're Zlatan. They're going through you. I think we can beat him in the cup, and I would this is going to sound really wrong, but I would sacrifice an absolute pounding in the league if we get to a semi-final of the cup. I want to win the cup. I do. And I think we can. I think we can beat them. I do. I think it's one of those. It's made for us moments if we're playing a proper team and not playing bloody Antonio at right back, so Martial can destroy him.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that they'll beat us in the league and we'll beat them in the cup. I'd definitely, and I would take that as well. All day long, I'd take a loss in the league for a win in the cup.
Yeah. So exciting month ahead for West Ham fans. Potentially, we could see ourselves in a semi-final of the cup. Hopefully, and hopefully we do those boys down in Shite Hart Lane. Right, moving on. Couple more things before we get onto the question. One more thing before we get onto the questions. Stadium. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of this guy. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, has come out saying that there needs to be an investigation into the rising cost of converting the stadium into a football stadium. I just think he's jumped on the bandwagon to get some good press, to be honest, this guy.
Oh, yeah, of course he has. One thing to say, though, even though in the papers, obviously West Ham's going to be dragged into this totally, I don't think this actually has anything to do with West Ham. I think this is to do with the retractable seating costs.
Yeah, which is nothing to do with West Ham.
It's got nothing whatsoever to do with West Ham.
The sports pages under West Ham.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that when you look at it, the fact that it was meant to cost 250 million and ended up costing 320 million, something like that. When you think, how did that even happen? And I'm not being funny. The retractable seating, it's not great.
No, it's not great.
Let's be honest. Like I was reading today that it's basically, it's not really retractable seating. It's temporary seating. It doesn't really move because to move it, they just take it down again. Like it's not like the Stade de France, which is on wheels and stuff that actually moves in and out. Like this, it seems like that they have to actually just take it all down, and that's why it takes so long. How has that cost £320 million?
God knows, absolutely.
Where has the money gone? I don't know. But again, it's nothing to do with West Ham. No. We don't own the stadium. We're not in control of that. It's got nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us.
And what do you make of just this constant negative press about the behaviour of our fans as well? It's just a joke. West Ham Fan TV made a really good comment on their post-match pint this week about, the Everton game, no arrests, great behaviour. I know the press are not going to write that, and they even said that themselves, West Ham Fan TV. The press are not going to write, oh yeah, West Ham fans are well behaved. But it's just a joke. But as soon as because Stoke are renowned for their naughty fans as well. As soon as something kicks off again on Saturday, West Ham, awful, back to the 80s.
Yeah, it is. It's a joke. And, there is definitely, I don't care what anyone says, there's definitely a media bias against West Ham.
Yeah, there is.
There has been since Tevez. And it's still going on. And a lot of, we're an easy target. And they'll jump on anything. Like there was, they say, there was 6 arrests for the Chelsea game or something like that.
13 arrests in the Birmingham game.
Yeah, exactly. That's not mentioned. It's not. It's very, very biased reporting, and
well, they just love a flop story, don't they? They don't want to see West Ham's gone there and they're successful. People don't read them stories.
See, what annoys me more than anything, though, is the fact that the owners are not saying anything. Why is the club not defending itself? The club should be saying. The club should be the ones making statements saying, actually,
excellent behaviour at Everton.
It was excellent behaviour, yeah. And at the Chelsea game, yes, there was a couple of incidents, but it was blown out of proportion. It was a very small incident. It didn't last particularly long. nothing.
Well,
let's
what
be
we would
honest,
say,
really
7
serious
arrests.
happened.
Was
Sorry,
it 7 arrests? Did you say?
it was 6 or 7,
So-
something like that. Yeah.
I think the attendance that night was something like 46,000. So it's less than 1%.
And I think I remember reading as well. I think I'm not 100%. I think it was 6 arrests, but only 4 were actually charged with
So
anything.
it's less than
So
1% that were arrested.
yeah, it's a tiny minority, and it was started by Chelsea.
Yeah, the geezer walking across the
Not-
bloody thing.
Yeah,
And
not mentioned.
Yeah, West Ham Fan TV actually mentioned that they made it look like, the papers made it look like that was a West Ham fan walking across. Ah,
So it's very annoying. I mean, the stadium is not ideal at the minute. It really ain't. But it does. I don't read newspapers anymore. I haven't read newspapers for a long time because it's nonsense. It's all rubbish. You know, it's all, everyone's got an agenda, and like I just try not to pay any attention to it, to be honest.
Yep. That's it for this week. Let's go on to the questions. Obviously, where we haven't got Lee here, conversations it doesn't go on and on and on and on. I'm joking. We miss you, Lee. We do miss you. Kevin Baxter on Twitter. Would you be happy this season and next just to have a top 10/12th finish, consolidate, that's a weird word to say, in new stadium, then push on and hopefully a cup final?
Oh man, listen, if you said to me, if you offered me right now a top 10 finish, I'd bite your hand off.
And a cup final, yeah. I'll bite both hands off.
100%, yeah. cup final, yeah. No, cup final would be fantastic. But yeah, no, 100%.
I'll be happy
top
15th
10
this year, if I'm honest.
Well, yeah, top 10, top 12 this year would be fantastic. But then
relegated this year. That's all.
I would want to see us push on again next year. Yeah.
Ben WHUFC. Top 5 stadiums to visit as an away supporter, most intimidating and best atmosphere. See, this is a question that would have been a lot better if Lee was.
Yeah, Lee would have been well on that.
Travelling guy. I went through during my young years, I went through a stage. I think I went 10 away games in a row, and I didn't ever see us actually even concede. And we was like either drawing 0-0s or winning. I remember my first ever game was Coventry away, and we won like 3-0. But I remember the first time I ever felt a goal go in against us. I think, I'm sure you was there. Was you there, Paul? The Chelsea one, the 5-1.
Yeah,
that was the first time I'd ever seen a goal go in against us. Like, I'm not saying Chelsea's that intimidating because it's not anymore, but the first time I ever felt an away goal go in was like, oh my god, like this is scary. But yeah, I don't know. My favourite ground, is going to sound very cliche, is Old Trafford. It's incredible. It is a beautiful stadium. I wouldn't say it's intimidating in any way, but it is an incredible stadium. I don't know. Liverpool is not that great a stadium. I'll be honest. It's going to go. Emirates is a fantastic stadium again, quiet as hell, but a fantastic stadium. I don't know. In terms of,
I haven't really done too many away days, to be honest. I've been to I haven't even been to Old Trafford for a game. I've been up there and like done the stadium and tour and that, but I haven't actually been to a game. I've been Chelsea, obviously. I was there with you. Fulham, which is absolutely
I've been there.
Proper Tin Pot Stadium, that is. I've done Cardiff, Wembley, but no, I haven't actually done that many away days, so I couldn't really say. Like you say, that would have been a perfect question for Lee.
I think Lee's actually been to probably about 70 odd grounds out of like the 96.
We'll ask him next week. Well, he's not back next week. We'll ask him the week after. Yeah.
I again, not giving them any credit, but obviously West Ham Tottenham, whenever you go that game, it's always a fantastic atmosphere, just the banter and the stuff. But yeah, we'll ask that to Lee when he comes back. Joshua Webb, when will Fletcher get his chance? What does he have to do? He gives more than any of our strikers so far this season.
He'll probably go out on loan in January, and then we won't see him until next year.
He will stay until at least January.
Yeah, they're saying that now, but I would be absolutely amazed if we don't buy it, or at least I think we'll probably send Zaza back in January, and maybe not buy, but maybe loan. I definitely think we'll bring in another striker.
I think Daniel Sturridge is going to come in on loan.
Really?
I do. unless Klopp starts playing him, which it doesn't look like he's going to, because that Firmino and Mane just are ruthless. Like, if you watch Liverpool play now, I can see Sturridge coming in on loan.
I can't see it. I don't think he's going to want to come to a team that are struggling in the bottom half of the league.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be a permanent deal. He would just go out on loan, prove his fitness, and then.
But I don't know the man. I don't know him, but he comes across as someone that I think he'd look down on us. I think he would look down and be like, "Why would I want to play for West Ham?"
No, playing with like Payet and people like that.
I don't know. It really depends how we're doing and where we are in January. To be honest,
out there again. But would you take Jermaine Defoe?
100%. There's absolutely no way that Sunderland will sell their best player.
They may as well admit death then, if they said it.
Yeah, so it won't happen. But of course, I'd take him 100%. Yeah.
Okay, Andy Smith. Do you expect to see Carroll, Sackle, Oxford, Cagliari, and Arbeloa play for West Ham team again?
I hope so. I mean, obviously, we all want Oxford to play. That's a weird one. Who knows what's going on? And then his contract, is he going to sign the contract? It wouldn't surprise me to see Oxford go at the end of the season, and I'd be gutted if he does, but it seems to be going that way. Again, as I said earlier on, I wish Cagliari would get a run of games. That's now starting to look very unlikely. Arbeloa, who knows if he's falling out with Bilic or not? I don't know.
You don't get time anymore. That is the problem. In the Premier League, you don't get time. You have to hit the ground running after 5 games, or basically you've not made it. It's that harsh. It's that harsh a league. Ross Cahill, of the strikers which we could realistically sign, who would be your first choice? Daniel Sturridge, if there was any chance. I've tried to pronounce this geezer's name in the Everton review. That Gabbiadini, or what is that?
Gabbiadini. Yeah,
he looks like one that possibly would come in, but is this going to be another Italian flop? I don't know much about the guy.
He's quite young. I think he's only. Am I right in thinking he's only about 24? Am I thinking of the right person? I think the wrong person.
I think he might be 24, 25.
So he's got that on his side. He's not prolific though, so
he's not my first choice at all.
It'd be a punt. Put it that way. Whether he'd come in and. No chance of Icardi, no. Then obviously all the Lacazette things being talked about again, no chance. That's the problem. Who could we realistically attract
that can score 15?
That can score goals? Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know.
I really don't know. It's tough. Like I'm trying to think like Championship as well. Is there any like little flirty ones that are down there? Nothing springs to mind, to be honest. Like, you ain't going to go and buy Dwight Gale from Newcastle because he didn't do it at Palace.
It's difficult.
Like I say, for me, I would go all out to get Daniel Sturridge on loan. That would be my dream signing if we could get.
He'd probably get injured on his first game.
Yeah. But surely you want him, no?
Of course. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh yeah, a fit Daniel Sturridge would be.
You want a greedy, angry player like him.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you look at some of the players, like you it just highlights even more how much we messed up in the summer.
Messed up.
Really did.
Massively. I would love Jermaine Defoe as well, but as Paul said, like if Sunderland sell him, they may as well just go. Yeah, that's it. Start waving the white flag. Adam, should we still be worried? Those 3 wins were good. But as soon as we came across someone good like Everton, we look inferior. I don't know. I thought we looked good for 30 minutes, and it's that I keep repeating myself every week. But if we don't score in that 30-minute period where we're on top, we just look baffled. And that's what kills us in the stadium as well. In the new stadium, we don't score in that attacking spell. The crowd get a bit more irate, nervous, and then the players get nervous. That's for me what it is. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think if we'd have had a proper striker on the pitch, we could have been 2-3-0 up in the first half hour.
That Obiang chance falls to Lanzini. It could have been a goal, different game.
Yeah, so no, and like I say, we played Chelsea midweek. That's going to factor into it. No, I wouldn't panic just yet.
Not yet.
I wouldn't panic just yet.
Zelfa, I think that's how you pronounce it. We all know that Mr. Gold needs to put his hand in his pocket and get a new striker. Who should it be? Well, we've answered that already. Daniel Sturridge, Jermaine Defoe, whoever. How much do you think they would accept for Jermaine Defoe, though, considering he's 34? And how much would you pay?
I mean, he's 34. You're going to get... Let's be really... See, that's the problem as well. If you wanted to buy him... He's still fit, but you're not going to get... Let's be really realistic. 2 years. He's probably going to want... I mean, I don't know what sort of contract he's on at Sunderland, but he's probably going to want at least a 3-year contract. I don't know. It's a weird one. I reckon they'd probably sell him... But he scores goals. I don't know. I'd like to say you could get him for about 8 million. But I don't know if they'd...
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. I think the maximum I'd pay for Jermaine is 10.
Yeah.
I'd pay 10 because that's cheap for a striker nowadays that scores goals.
Mm.
Yeah. And you got to think like I know Zlatan's different planet, but like him, like you would have paid big money for him. Like I know he's going on a bit of barren spell at the minute, but before that, Stacey regular, sell or keep Carroll.
Bye
bye. Yeah. I think if Newcastle get promoted next year. I don't know. I don't think but saying that, I don't think Rafael Benitez would buy him. He's not the sort that would just go and buy someone silly. He's done some wonderful things at Newcastle, Benitez, so far as well. Yeah, goodbye. But who's going to buy him? God knows.
I said to you the other day, I read on the website Transfer Market as lists loads of players' details. Apparently, he's still contracted to us until 2019.
3 years. Well,
2019. And as I said then, it's no wonder. Like if the rumours about his fitness and how he acts and everything off the pitch, I know we talked about this last week, but if that's all true, are you surprised if he's tied up on 120 grand a week until 2019? Why would he care? He doesn't care. I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care. I'd be that Winston Bogart at Chelsea. 80 grand a week. Nah, I don't want to leave. Nah.
120 grand a week until 2019 for doing absolutely nothing. Fantastic. Brilliant. I'd be going out celebrating every week and all.
I go to celebrate every day. If I was 120 grand a week. SB. Yeah, he's a regular now. Cheers for the question. Do you think we should keep the 3 defensive lines with 2 wing backs when we play the likes of Man United and Arsenal, etc.?
That's a good question. I don't know, because the problem is when we come up against the good teams who have got good wingers, if they pin our fullbacks back, we've got no outlet, and then we're basically playing 5 at the back, 2 defensive midfielders, or 2 more defensive-minded midfielders, and we end up just getting completely overrun.
Like Arsenal would absolutely rip us to shreds at the minute.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying earlier. Do you think Slav will stay with a 3 at the back? I don't know. But it's weird. You can't really be that adaptable. You don't want to be changing your formation every other week. So
yeah,
I don't know.
We've sort of started to get a bit of a settled side. Yeah, I think you said it last week, Paul, about keep changing the formation and changing. Like you got to stick to something and just you got to go with something for at least like 5, 6, even 10 games before you start thinking, yeah, that's not working.
Yeah.
Pizza Boy, great name. After the loss last week, what are you expecting going forward? Like I say, I haven't read too much into it, to be honest, because this is the team we always lose to. Lose to Stoke, then I'm back to being nervous and stop believing mode again, like I was in early season. But if we win, then like Paul said, it shows we've sort of got the character to turn it around, and we're not going to just feel sorry for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
And last question, fantastic question, from SB. Who wins a Hell in a Cell match between the 3 Hammers?
Well, what the fans might not know is that the LTF used to be an amateur wrestling company back in the day, and we were all, part-time wrestlers. So, Yeah, we used to go at it.
Yeah, for those of you that have not been there from the beginning, this channel actually did used to be called the LTF Sports Channel, okay? And a lot of you thought it meant Let's Talk Football, okay? But the actual meaning for the channel was the Lunchtime Federation. As pathetic as this sounds, basically all we used to do is we used to go around our mate's house and kick 10 barrels out of each other. We used to do boxing matches, everything. Like, it's just what we used to do. And my mate, previous mate Tom, he used to be that. We used to film each other and proper mess around. In terms of who would win out of us three, I don't know. Me and Paul was a great tag team, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's wrestling, isn't it? So it's whoever's written to win.
You tell us, guys. Yeah. Who do you think would win in a Hell in a Cell match between me, Lee, and Paul?
Although I have to say, I think I'd do well in Hell in a Cell because I was the high flyer.
Oh yeah, Mick Foley is your hero as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting. But then obviously,
did Mick ever win a Hell in a Cell? Yeah.
Well, Luke, inspired by Undertaker, obviously, master of the cell. So yeah, wow, it'd be good, wouldn't it? I don't know what Lee would be doing. What would Lee be doing? It'd be the ref, probably.
Paul
Yeah, good question.
Thanks for that, SB. We do love the funny questions, guys, so please get the funny ones in. That's it for this week, guys. Please leave a like if you like the video, and please share it with your friends. Please subscribe. Let's get to 2,000 very, very soon. If you missed it at the beginning of the video, guys, and you've sort of skipped ahead a little bit, Jay, Hammer and Talk, one of the biggest West Ham YouTube channels, is coming on next week to fill in for Lee, which is going to be fantastic. You know, we've met him before for the Juventus game. I think he'll give some real good views and opinions. If you've got any questions for him or anything you'd like us as a free to talk about, please drop it in the comments or DM us on Twitter, and we will do our best to cover everything with Jay next week. As I say, really looking forward to it. I'll be back with a Stoke preview and Stoke vlog. Paul's going to do a top 10 goals next week to fill in for the international gap. We've got some exciting news about some sort of thing we've got in the pipeline next week as well. But apart from that, guys, stay tuned, keep believing, come on you irons, let's go.
Cheers.